This is the longest steel arch span bridge in the Western Hemisphere and is 876 feet above the river.
I'm terrified.
Are you?
A little.
I want to welcome you guys to the Beckley Exhibition Coal Mine. My name is Don, and I'm going to be your guide today. Now working in the coal mine. Hey, talk to me, somebody. Here we go.
Welcome to New River Gorge, America's newest national park, home to the state's iconic New River Gorge Bridge and the namesake river, one of the oldest in the world, plus a rich coal and mining history. New River Gorge, originally a national river and preserve, earned its national park designation in December of 2020, making it the youngest national park in the country. The park covers 70,000 acres, stretching from Fayetteville to Hinton. In today's episode, we'll be exploring several areas of the park, from the famous bridge to the historic town of Thurmond. Plus, we'll head underground to learn about West Virginia's mining history. While the park has several free first-come, first-served campgrounds, we opted to stay at a private campground in the north near the Canyon Rim Visitor Center, partly because of weather and partly because of its convenient location. The Outpost is relatively new and, in our opinion, a very nice campground. Even if you don't travel by RV, there are tent sites, cabins, and retro trailers you can rent, and it's all just a 5-minute drive to the Canyon Rim Visitor Center and the bridge. Good morning from a very chilly New River Gorge National Park. It got down into the 20s last night, and we're getting ready to go on some cold morning hikes with Scout because every trail here in the park is dog friendly. So we picked up a trail map for the Canyon Rim Visitor Center area, and I think we're going to do the Long Point Trail out to get great views of the bridge. There are also a few overlooks right here from the Visitor Center, so we're going to go check that out first.
178 steps later, this is still the right decision. This is a great view of the bridge. 178 steps. So Caitlin, that's 178 steps back up. Are you ready for that?
Yes. Yeah, the sign for the lower overlook said, while going down is always an option, coming back up is not an option. So make sure that you want to tackle all of those steps before you commit to coming down. It is definitely worth it though. What do you think of the big bridge? Do you like it? You want to go on a hike now? Okay, let's go. Go, Scout, go. Well, in case you didn't believe me about how cold it is, it's actually snowing. There were flurries just a minute ago. So we are bundled up. Scout has her sweater on. We're on the Long Point Trail, which is 1.6 miles out and then 1.6 miles back. And we're gonna be heading out to a stone outcropping to get even more views of the bridge and the gorge.
And since we have our adventure pup with us, of course Scout is going to prove that all the trails here are dog friendly. This is an interesting trail because so far we're on like a little bit of an elevated walkway that goes right behind houses. We're parked in a parking lot inside of a residential neighborhood. So FYI, if you see all these houses and all that, you are still in the right spot.
The layout of New River Gorge National Park is very interesting. It's reminding me a little bit of Olympic National Park, how you had to kind of exit the park, re-enter various areas. Unlike Olympic though, there is no admission fee. There are no stations that you drive through to show your park pass or anything like that. And I think part of it is because logistically it would be very hard considering how spaced out all of the park areas actually are.
The first section of this trail, I think, is actually designed to be accessible. They have this like traction mats that are embedded into the ground, and it takes you up to not an overlook but an informational area with a couple signs, and you can kind of overlook the, I guess, nature of the area. But pretty cool that the maybe first quarter mile or so is, I believe, to be accessible.
So there's a sign that says no bikes past this certain point, and you can definitely see why. The difficulty level went up a notch on this section of the trail, but it's really pretty. It's very narrow, and there's like stone steps that you have to take, and we just came to one overlook. Let's go see.
Oh wow, we're out on this precipice.
Oh. Yeah, it's just like this stone outcropping, like the description said. And it's very narrow. It drops off on both sides, and I can see the bridge, and it is incredible from here.
Just gorgeous. Definitely watch your footing as you're getting out here. But I can see the bridge one way, I can see the gorge the other way. I'd call this a win.
We can set the camera up and take some photos.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, this is spectacular. Oh wow.
So we were between two trails. I had the Endless Wall on our list and the Long Point Trail. And I asked the ranger at the visitor center what his opinion was, which one was more dynamic. And he said that the Endless Wall is beautiful. You just get more views of the gorge and you can't really see much of the bridge from Endless Wall. So we opted just to pick one because it's so cold, and I'm glad we picked this one. If you want to see the bridge from a different angle, Long Point Trail is the one to do. Oh my God.
Wow.
Oh, beautiful.
You are about to embark on a drive down Fayette Station Road. For about 100 years, this route was the only way to cross the new river in this immediate area without getting wet.
As you know, we love our audio tours, and what better than a free audio tour? Thanks to the National Park Service app, you can download, and I would highly recommend doing that. Always download an offline mode, any park that you're visiting, because connectivity can be very limited in certain parts of most of the national parks. So this has an audio tour built into it, and it's very simple. You start at the Canyon Rim Visitor Center, and then you just follow the instructions, and it tells you exactly where and how to turn. And we're on the Fayette Station Road tour, which will take us all the way down to the river. We'll cross the river on an older bridge and then proceed to go all the way back up the other bank.
Finish at our campground.
Oh yeah, it finishes literally right at the campground, right? That's unbelievable. Finally learning something about the bridge. This is the longest steel arch span bridge in the Western Hemisphere and is 876 feet above the river. And thanks to the little illustration, according to this, the Washington Monument and two statues of Liberty could be stacked on top of each other, and it would still be shorter than this bridge.
Wow.
And this was a game changer for the area because it took what was a 45-minute winding road route in order to cross the river down to 45 seconds on today's bridge. Caitlin, what did I just ask you?
Howard just asked me if I'm going to be okay tomorrow when we do something that I'm kind of terrified of doing. So there is a company here, it's called Bridge Walk, and it is exactly as it sounds. They are going to take us out underneath the bridge and walk across a catwalk. I know that they do this hundreds, thousands of times a year. It still makes me very nervous because if you have watched any of our other videos, you know that I do not like heights and I do not like bridges in particular. So yeah, I'm not going to be okay, but am I going to do it? Yes, because I'm going to conquer my fears.
Yeah, like I said, it's 876 feet tall, and another sign just said it is actually the third tallest bridge in the entire United States. Independent of any type of bridge, this is the third highest.
We're going to walk over there.
Yeah, and we're going to walk underneath it. We're going to walk underneath it. And before you ask, yes, we will be wearing safety harnesses, which will be clipped in. And so there is little to no chance of anything happening, but that is not enough comfort for Caitlin. I am sure that much like in Alaska and other places where I've taken her, Alaska, Caitlin, that was only 200 feet.
What?
That was only 200 feet off the ground.
No.
This is 800 feet.
Oh my God, you shouldn't have told me that. That was terrifying.
Wait, what?
Why did you tell me that?
Wait. What's that?
Why did you tell me that? That felt so incredibly high above that gorge. You're talking about the one we climbed under on the way to McCarthy?
Yeah.
That was only 200 feet?
I think it was like 200.
Oh man.
Maybe it was 300. Let's roll the tape.
I might just stay here. I don't like this. Oh my God, do you see it? Look at that. And I'm actually the one who suggested that we do this tomorrow, if you can even believe that. And I'm sitting here regretting all my life choices. But I can see the catwalk that we're going to be on. I am excited, but that is also like combined with fear.
So the catwalk is that up there. That wider section right there. That's the catwalk. And it goes all the way across. Are you gonna do that dance on the catwalk?
Do my little dance on the catwalk. No, I'm gonna be like death grip.
Oh, you got this.
I can dance down here. This is a really neat angle of the bridge. If you come down and do the Fayette Station Road drive, you get underneath the bridge and you can see different angles of it. It's very cool. Next, we headed to the historic town of Thurmond. In the early 1900s, during the height of the coal mining days, this was a major boomtown. Thurmond's banks were some of the richest in the state, and up to 15 passenger trains came through here a day. But with the eventual switch to diesel locomotives combined with area mines closing, the bustling town of Thurmond became a relic of the past.
Behind me is the one-way entrance into Thurmond. That bridge leads to the town right over there. And this is actually still inhabited by 5 people. Now, the National Park Service over the years has restored a number of the buildings, and seasonally, meaning in the summertime, it sounds like you can go into several of them. And then this area here, this used to be the depot or the station for the town of Thurmond. This serves as the visitor center, also open during the summertime.
We weren't 100% sure which way to go when we got down here to Thurmond. I would highly recommend just parking at the visitor center and then walking. There is a little walkway beside the train tracks. Otherwise, it's going to take you up a very rough dirt road where you would definitely need 4-wheel or all-wheel drive, and it is pretty rutted out. So just beware of that and don't make the mistake we did.
According to this sign, this is still a flag stop for Amtrak, meaning if they put the flag out or there's someone who is waiting to board, the train will still stop here. This is along the main route. I believe that goes to Washington, D.C.
Okay, it is time. I am getting very nervous. We just met our tour guide for Bridge Walk, Doug. He's gonna take us out and we're gonna get into our safety harnesses, get a safety briefing, and then board the bus. So I still have a little bit of time to, I think, ramp this up in my head.
We'll walk down to the bridge, step onto the catwalk, and get hooked into the safety system. Then we're gonna walk from here all the way over to the other side.
Hey, Caitlin, any last thoughts?
I'm terrified.
Are you?
A little. I feel like it's like walking the plank on a pirate ship out to the edge.
Yeah? I'm gonna ask you to go almost to the end of the ramp. We won't get on the catwalk just yet.
Caitlin, first impression.
It's really, really long, really tall. It looks really cool.
This is called a transfastener. These things will attach to and detach from the cables just at either end, and otherwise they'll glide the whole way across. This bridge is 3,030 feet long, and the actual height of the bridge is 876 feet. That's from the road surface down to the river. Now we are 25 feet below the road bed, so when we're over the water, we will be 851 feet above the new river. Come with me, Caitlin. There are posts that hang down from the bottom of the road deck. Those things are called intermediates. And your wheel is designed to slide right through. This system is designed to be used hands-free. There you go.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, so right now, just a quick check-in. We are
50 feet above.
75.
Still feeling okay.
Still good?
But yes, the cars going above really vibrate this. That's messing with me more than anything.
Yeah.
But Doug has done a great job of making us all feel very comfortable explaining the safety harness system. So again, I feel I'm in good hands. I just need to not look down, look up here, he said.
That's right. And unlike ones we've been on before, this has a solid, this is not a grate.
No.
So you're
That
on,
helps.
Yeah.
Can you tell I'm a little nervous?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so far not so bad. I know Caitlin's already flipping out, but this truthfully is pretty easy breathing.
Is everybody feeling good? Is that your happy face? Okay, welcome to the new River Gorge. Prior to 1977, before the new River Gorge Bridge was here, the only way to cross the gorge at this point was Fayette Station Road. But on October 22nd, 1977, after 3 years and 4 months of working to piece the bridge together, it was open to traffic. Life changed fairly dramatically for those who lived around here. Communities on this side and the communities on that side, it brought people together. And one of the greatest things that has done is brought you guys here today. We get people from all over the world, and perhaps that's the most enduring thing that the bridge provides. So I mentioned it took 3 years and 4 months to piece it together. They began the construction back in June of 1974. Now, a whole year prior to that, from June of 1973, they worked on site preparation. I got a question for Caitlin. Do you like being up front? You're doing a great job. Let's mosey some more. We celebrate the bridge on Bridge Day. It's the third Saturday in October, so mark your calendars for next year. Of all the people who come to celebrate the bridge, 400 will bring their parachutes. These are base jumpers. If you have a parachute but have no airplane, you're a base jumper. BASE is an acronym: Building, Antenna, Span, Earth. So from this span, the jumpers jump. If you're standing in this spot on Bridge Day, and you look out this window right here, every 10 seconds, a human being falls from the sky. I know.
On purpose.
At 32 feet per second. Yeah, they seem to like it. Down below on the beach, they paint a bullseye in the gravel. That's the spot the jumpers endeavored to land. And about 70% will hit that bullseye right on. If you happen to land in the water, rescue rafts are constantly circulating. So coming up, we're going to begin to see on the floor of the catwalk squares, painted squares with numbers 1, 2, 3, up to 22. Those are rappel stations. So just because you don't have a parachute doesn't mean you can't play. You can come and do that. That's just sliding down a rope from the catwalk to the canyon floor. So if you find yourself here on Bridge Day, don't want to rappel, don't want to jump, do what I do on Bridge Day. I fill my belly with funnel cake, corn dogs, chicken on a stick. It's the largest single-day festival in the eastern part of the United States. And it's the largest single-day extreme sporting event in the whole wide world. So we're proud of that.
Are you having fun?
Yeah. I'd like to point out, I have not held the rails the entire time because I've been filming. So Caitlin is now filming at the end because she has developed enough confidence now that we are only about 50 feet off the ground. Thank you, Caitlin.
Well, thank you for filming, because I couldn't do it when we were over the water. But now there's a lot less chance.
Now she's like fearless. How amazing.
Because it's almost over. Thank
High
you.
five. Great job.
Can you see the end?
Made it. Yes.
Okay, I feel like this is like a tale of two adventures. I had an amazing time, never scared. It was beautiful. I highly recommend this to anyone. Caitlin?
I also had an amazing time. I was slightly terrified at certain points, but that's only because I have a fear of heights. But look, even with as scared as I was, I still did it. I still went out there and still had a wonderful, fantastic time. All of the guides here are very experienced. We had Doug. Doug was excellent. I mean, everybody is so passionate about what they're doing and sharing this experience, and their main goal is to make sure that you're having a good time.
And Doug has been doing this tour, what, almost 13 years?
Between 10 and 13, a long time. And he loves it. He loves it. You know, I was chatting with him up there. It's like he gets to come to work every day, and that's his office. How incredibly beautiful. And they do this year round. So no matter what time of year you're here, they offer tours. And I would highly recommend doing it because it just gives you obviously a different perspective of the bridge, but you're learning so much more than just looking at it.
This does not require any special ability or skill. You are continuously tethered the entire time. You are in great hands.
Yeah, and just the views up there, like being that high above the gorge and seeing the rushing water, the rapids. We even got to see a train. Like that in and of itself was worth overcoming the fear for me, just being able to take it all in.
There's almost nowhere that you can get that kind of a view over a river.
Yeah, to me, this would absolutely complete your visit to New River Gorge National Park. Just do it. You won't regret it.
We're heading to the main overlook, and this is a very famous view. It's a horseshoe view of the river and the gorge. Can't wait.
And this section of the park used to be part of the West Virginia State Park system. 52 acres of it was a state park up until 1990. Oh, I already got a little sneak peek of it, and this is beautiful. Oh my goodness. Wow. Well, it's easy to see where it gets its name from, Grandview. That is beautiful. So now we're going to North Overlook along the Grandview Rim Trail, and we're hoping to get even more spectacular views of it.
This is better. From here, I feel like you can get more of the horseshoe, and that was only, what, a 15-minute walk, I want to say. So not too terribly bad to get to this spot. This one, by the way, there's no sign that indicates that you've reached this overlook. It's the first overlook when you're along the trail to the right. Okay, point of correction, that wasn't the North Overlook. I don't know. We're gonna keep going along the trail and see if we can get to the North Overlook.
That's why we love the National Park Service app, because you can actually pull up exactly where you are along the trail, and we can see that we are in fact very far from the actual North Overlook, which is way out here. So there is a little overlook right here that we just stopped at. Great overlook if you don't feel like going all the way north to North Overlook. So let's go see what that one's all about.
Whoops. There's another not North Overlook.
What do you think of this overlook, Caitlin?
Okay, we made it to the official North Overlook, and I will still say I think that first accidental imposter North Overlook was the better one. This is still very beautiful, but I think that would be the better of the two. What do you think, Howard?
Yeah, I see very little change between the various overlooks at this point. So I would go with the one that's only 15 minutes from the parking lot, because you're going to get, in my opinion, almost an identical view. But
Gosh, but look at
gorgeous.
I don't know, the more I sit here and take it all in, the more North Overlook is growing on me. Especially right now, you get a really good view of the inside of the horseshoe, and all of the trees right now look like colorful cauliflower. Say that 5 times fast. And then there's this one little patch of green trees that are like holdouts. I'm sure they're just another species of tree that don't change color, but We continue to the southernmost area of the park with a stop at the Sandstone Visitor Center, which has great interactive exhibits and information on water conservation and the importance of the new river to this area. If you continue on through the town of Hinton and cross the river, you can visit the most iconic waterfall in the park, which also happens to be the largest falls on the new river, Sandstone Falls.
Very nice boardwalk. Super accessible in order to get out to the falls.
The boardwalk will take you past the lower falls, and if you follow it 0.2 miles to the end, you're treated to incredible views of the main falls. Even though Sandstone Falls is a bit further out of the way from other areas in the park, we definitely think it's worth a visit. We just had a delicious lunch at Black Circle Bistro, which they've only been open like 7 weeks, and the food was so good. They try to use locally sourced ingredients, and we got to try a local favorite, the pepperoni roll, and it was so good. The bread was so fluffy and delicious, and it had cheese inside and minced up pepperoni. It was incredible, so you have to try that if you come here. Howard had a veggie burger with all kinds of delicious toppings on it, and then I had their take on a Philly that had peppers and onions and cheese and magic dust. This was great, highly recommended. We also got some dessert. They make homemade, look at this. Here. Can't wait to dig into this. I'm not gonna drop it. So good.
I want to welcome you guys to the Beckley Exhibition Coal Mine. My name is Don, and I'm going to be your guide today. Unfortunately, I'm the best you got, because I'm all you got. Has anybody been here before? Nobody been here before? Well, good. I don't have to change my story the least bit at the end of the day. Everything good. Okay, guys, have y'all heard that song, 16 Tons? Yes. Well, let's crank that bad boy up and let's get this party started. What do you say? All right. All right. 16 tons. What do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. What about this one here? Oh, working in the coal mine, going down, down, now working in the coal mine. Where's my whoop at? I didn't get not one whoop. Yesterday, I got one little whoop, and it was about as weak as a soup sandwich. So let's see if we can work on that whoop a little bit, guys, all right? Are you ready to dig some coal? Yeah. Well, let's go see if we can find a little bit then, guys. Working in the coal mine. Guys, let's talk about this old coal mine. Guys, this was the Phillips family mine. Now, this mine started in 1890. They mined coal out of here till 1910. 20 years they worked in this mine, 20 years. Guys, this mine was 7 miles deep when they was mining coal here. 7 miles. 1910, they tell me they ran out of coal was the reason they shut it down. Stayed idle until 1962, and that's when the mine was donated to the city of Beckley. First thing the city of Beckley did was hire a company to come in to make it higher in here. And the reason they made it higher, if you look right over here, that's what the whole mines look like. See how low that is, guys? That's what us coal miners call low coal. Right over here is the top of the coal seam. From right there up is all rock, and from there down is coal. Guys, I worked in the coal mine for 23 years. That is no fun, and that is no picnic, guys, no picnic. Guys, there was no electricity in this mine when these guys was working in here. All the work in this mine was done by hand. These guys had to buy their own tools from the company store. Everything they owned came from the company store, and that's why they owed their soul to the company store. Right here is a ton of coal. These miners were expected to come in here and load 10 tons of coal every day. 10 tons with a pick and shovel per man. 20 cents a ton. Right here in my hand is the canary in the coal mine. Coal miners use the canary for a gas detector. The gas I'm talking about is methane gas. Methane is a deadly gas that's found in most coal mines. No gas in this coal mine, guys. We inspect this mine every day. As methane is a heavy gas, it lays down close to the bottom, so therefore you put your canary down here on the bottom, the miner would be digging his coal. You monitor that canary throughout the day. As long as that canary was singing and dancing, life was good in the coal mine. But if you look over there and that canary done rolled over on his back and got his feet up in the air, he's letting you know that it's time to go. And if you don't go, you're gonna be laying on your back with your feet in the air. 1890 to 1910, there was no electricity in this mine, so that means no light. They came out with this light, and it's called the carbide light. Carbide in this section, water in this section. You mix water with the carbide, gas will start flowing up out of there. When the gas starts flowing, you hit this little flint, you get a spark. The spark meets the gas, you get a flame. Do you guys want to see some magic?
Sure.
Okay, y'all say yeah, huh? All right, we got to work out a little deal here then.
All right.
And the deal goes like this, guys. If I make this happen, you guys got to say, you the man. Is that a deal?
Deal.
All right, guys, here we go. Carbide, water. Mix the water with the carbide. You see that gas come flowing up out of there, guys? Once that gas come flowing, you go, yabba dabba doo. Talk to me, somebody. I can't hear you. Hey, was that cool or was that cool? Guys, this is called the carbide light.
How long will that last?
This light will last 4 to 5 hours.
Really?
Now, before I forget, they have these lights right outside in the company store for sale. I want to turn out the lights so you guys can see how it looked in here when the miners were in here working. This is exactly how it looked in here, guys. One man in each place working, okay? Your next closest worker may be 50, 75 feet away. This is what it looks like if your light goes out. Pretty dark, huh?
I gotta say, Don was one of the best tour guides that we've ever had for any tour in all of our travels.
I have to spoil this a little bit. I actually looked him up in advance, and I was like, please let it be Don, because he was just so entertaining.
Take your lid off of that dinner bucket. First thing you're gonna see is this pan, and it's called the goodie pan. And that's where Mama put the good stuff. A piece of pie, piece of cake, them cinnamon rolls, and them fried pies that Mama make goes in the goodie pan.
Don comes from a mining family. His father, in fact, worked for 50 years in the mines. Don grew up in a mine camp, so the stories that he's telling are true from his life.
He's just so captivating with everything that he's sharing, and if you happen to get lucky and get Don too, you're in for a treat. And this is a must-do while you're in the area visiting New River Gorge National Park.
The Beckley Exhibition Coal Mine is not located inside of the national park, but Beckley is very convenient, let's say, because certain parts of the national park, you have to travel through this area. So you might as well stop here and learn about the rich history of coal mining in this area. Unlike other mine tours, which we've taken, actually we took one in Nova Scotia of a coal mine up there. This one, you do not have to worry about crouching or walking long distances. You do everything from inside of a cart. You can certainly stand up when the cart comes to a stop. And Don was great about walking around and showing both sides. They have perfect exhibition areas that represent all the various processes and what life was like underground.
And I think we were down there for about 45 minutes, and it went fast because Don was so incredibly entertaining. It was like we were back out before we knew it. I loved it. I loved every second of it. Not only can you go underground and tour the actual mine here, but they have brought buildings that existed in actual coal camps around the state and reconstructed them here, so you can get a really good feel for what life was like at the coal camps.
So we just came from the superintendent's house, and now we're in a one-room shanty. This was for single or for married miners who would commute. They would actually spend, let's say, Monday through Friday here, and then on the weekends they would head back home to their families. And there's quite a difference between this and the superintendent's house.
Wow.
Y'all familiar with country music star Brad Paisley? Brad Paisley was here a couple of months ago. He made a music video right here where you guys are sitting. When you look at that video, guys, guess what? I'm in the video. I'm in the video. So make sure you pull it up and look at it, guys. And if you want my autograph when we get outside, I'll be glad to hook you up with it, okay? Working in the coal mine.
On our next episode, we're off to my home state, Virginia. Come along as we explore the incredibly beautiful Shenandoah National Park and tackle the hardest hike of our entire national parks tour. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next week.